Good morning, children. How are you all? I think you are all doing well. You are all safe and healthy in your homes. Welcome to our new academic year. పిల్లలు మనందరికీ తెలుసు ప్రస్తుతం ఉన్నటువంటి పాండమిక్ సిచ్యువేషన్ కారణంగా పాఠశాలలు తెరిచే పరిస్థితి లేనటువంటి పరిస్థితుల్లో మన ప్రభుత్వం పిల్లలకి విద్యా విధానాన్ని అందించడానికి ఆన్లైన్ పద్ధతుల్లో మీ ముందుకు వచ్చే ప్రయత్నం చేయమంది. ఈ సందర్భంగా మన తూర్పుగోదావరి జిల్లా నుండి మన డిఈఓ గారు గౌరవనీయులు శ్రీ అబ్రామ్ గారి యొక్క ఆధ్వర్యంలో మనం ఉపాధ్యాయులందరూ కూడా మీకు మేము చేరువయ్యేటువంటి ప్రయత్నంలో భాగంగా ఈ యొక్క ఆన్లైన్ విద్యా విధానాన్ని బోధించే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నాం. కాబట్టి మీరందరూ కూడా సేఫ్గా హెల్దీగా ఇంట్లోనే ఉంటూ ఆనందంగా విద్యా విధానాన్ని కొనసాగిస్తారని ఆశిస్తున్నాను. Dear students, now you are all going to 10th class. So that means you are going to the higher class of the school. You are the children who are going to be the leaders of the futures. Okay, so being a 10th class student, I hope that you were aware of many things. You learned many things in the previous classes, isn't it? So here in our 10th class, the first chapter, you can see what is the name of the first chapter given in our textbook, India Relief Features. Children, before going to know, you can observe here in a picture that you can see a beautiful mountain. Can you see the beautiful mountain? Can you imagine what is this mountain area? Where is it located? Yeah, very good. So you are all aware of this, that if you are saying about something that these mountains, where they are located, immediately we can what actually say Kashmir, the beautiful place of our country, isn't it? So which is also known as Switzerland of Asia. You can see this beautiful mountain. Okay, why this mountain has been shown here in this picture? Because it is related to our lesson, that is India Relief Features. So before going to know about different relief features of our country, let us try to understand what is relief. Here, children, you see that I am drawing a picture. Can you tell what is it? Yeah, you can say that it may be a hill or a mountain. Now can you tell what is this picture? You see here hill, next one plateau, next what we see here, yeah, this is flat surface landform, this is what called plain. So I think you are all aware of these landforms in the previous class. In 6th class you studied about different forms of Andhra Pradesh. What are they? Hills, plateaus and plains, isn't it? So today we are going to know that what are different landforms are located in our country. So what these, if you observe the surface of the land, is the surface of the land uniformly extended? No. Why? Because we can find different kinds of land forms with ups and downs. So somewhere you find mountain regions, somewhere you find hilly areas, somewhere you may find plateaus, somewhere you may find plains, somewhere you may observe valleys. That means the earth landform is not uniformly extended. So this uneven landform which we see on the earth is what actually we called that with the different landforms relief features. So today we are going to discuss that what are different kinds of relief features are located in India. Okay, children. So before going to know that what different landforms are there in India, we have to go through that where is India located. So children, we all actually refer what actually to understand the location of a place in the world. What do we refer? We have the sources like atlas or wall maps in our schools. So you may be having atlas books with you. What is an atlas? Actually, it's nothing but a collection of maps. Then wall maps you may observe in your schools, different kinds of wall maps. So by looking into these, we can understand what are different landforms or what are different relief features are located in the world. You see children here, this is an atlas, isn't it? So you should all actually have your own atlas, because atlas is a very useful source for us to refer or to read maps. Now we see this is what actually called wall map. So we can find these wall maps in our schools. Okay, now see children here, this is what actually called 3D map. So this, what is that you may observe here, the difference between a normal map and this one 3D map. Here you can observe the landforms here shown are actually having somewhat actually height. They have been shown somewhat height. You see that where you can observe the height is much here in this picture. Yeah, very good. It is in the north. We can find here. You see children here in the north. North. This is what actually north of our country. This is eastern part of our country. This one western part. This one southern part. So here, where do you observe that the height of the land is much here? You find this is what north. So we can simply say what is that we have in the north part of our country. Yeah, very good. Himalayas. So we can find Himalayas in the northern part of our country, isn't it? Okay, this is what actually called raised relief map. So this is what actually called raised relief map because of what we find here, the landforms which are shown here, not like in a normal land map that we see in our schools and all. So this is a very useful map, 3D map, through which we can also study about the physical features of a world. Next you see that where is India located in the world. So here you see children, if you go through this sentence, India lies in northern and eastern hemispheres. Just you have to try to understand this highlighted part, northern and eastern hemispheres. So what is that you have to understand here? Why we have to know that India is located in a particular place, northern and eastern. So before going to that, we have to go through this one. Children, if you observe this one, you already aware of this map you are having in ninth class, isn't it? So if you go through this one, you see that the middle part, the middle of the earth here, you see here that in the first picture you see that the middle line, what is it? The middle line is called, which divides the earth into equal parts. This is what actually called 0 degrees latitude, or is also what called equator. This one is also what called equator. So what does equator do here? It's dividing the earth into two equal parts or two equal halves. You see here, this one, the shaded area towards the north, what is this direction is called? North direction. This one, north direction. Here this one, south direction. Okay, if you observe this one, these two pictures, you find the north portion, which is shaded area, because of the division of equator, you may find that that part is what actually called northern hemisphere. What is it called? Northern hemisphere. You see the southern one, what is it? Southern part. Southern part is here, you find this is what actually called southern hemisphere. This one, the northern shaded area, is what called northern hemisphere. Similarly, this equator is also what actually called horizontal line. These are what actually imaginary lines. You all know that towards north of equator we have what we find 90 latitudes towards north, and towards south also we have 90 latitudes. That means total 180 latitudes, plus including equator 1. That means total 181 latitudes you may observe on the globe. Okay, next you go through this one, second picture, that you may find here in the right side, that we have that a vertical line which divides the earth into two equal parts. That is what actually eastern part and western part. So what these are actually called, the western part of the world, which is shaded here, is what actually called western hemisphere. Okay, now you go through this one. Here, what is it actually? Here it is called the down one, eastern hemisphere. Here, this one, right side part, right side shaded area. That means here, what is that? The major line which is dividing the earth into equal parts as east and western parts. That is what called 0 degrees longitude, or what is it also called? Prime meridian, or it is also what called Greenwich. Why it is called Greenwich? Actually, because it's passing through a place called Greenwich near London in England. Okay, very good. So now we go through this one. We have seen that India is located in the north. So when you observe this map, you see here that where is India located? Here you can observe here the middle line. What is this middle line? Is called equator, isn't it? The middle line which is passing through the center, which is connecting eastern parts with western parts, is what actually called equator. So the equator is connecting the eastern parts with the western parts of the world. Now we see that we already discussed that here, this one, the vertical line which is also dividing the earth, so which is what actually called longitude. So longitude is also what actually doing here, this is also dividing the earth into two equal parts, and which is actually connecting what here you find north part with south part. So you find here it's connecting the north part with south part. Here you see here what is it actually, this north end point is called, yeah, it's what actually called north pole, isn't it? So like that in the south we have south pole. Okay, so basing on these divisions of these two lines, that world can be divided as what we find as northeast. So this is what actually east, you see that the right side portion of the world, whereas this one is what actually called north, this one east. Now we see that this one opposite direction of east is what called west. Okay, here basing on this what we know that major directions of the world opposite what we find that opposite part of the north is what actually called south. So like that you may observe here that world has been divided into four major divisions, that what we find north, south, east, west. Okay, whereas you find in between this you may observe here that the corner parts that we find here, this one like India is located here, like you find North America, like here you find Australia, like the part of South America. You may find in between this, what this area is called in between north and east is what actually called, very good, north east. Okay, whereas in between north and west, north west. In between south and west, southwest. Like that in between south and east, southeast. Now can you tell where that our country is located by observing this figure? Yeah, our country is located in northeastern part of the world. We can simply say this is what the location of our country. Okay, did you all understand, students? Very good. Now we go through this one. We all know that that there are nearly about 180 latitudes, including equator 181 we have. Total how many latitudes we have? 181 latitudes are there. Okay, then we know that we have 360 longitudes. So we can observe 360 longitudes on the globe. That means we all know that earth is a circle. So you may observe in mathematics also you study about circle is about 360 degrees. So like that that longitudes which are actually vertical lines, we all know that they are what actually vertical lines, longitudes horizontal lines. So here how many are longitudes are there in the world? 360. Latitudes 181. Okay, if you go through that that where India is located, so if we go through this one that we have already discussed that India is entirely located in the northeastern part of the world. So that's why if you go through this one, India's mainland lies between 8 degrees 4 minutes and 37 degrees 6 minutes. Okay, so here they have used a letter here. What is it? It is indicated with N, capital letter. What do you mean by N, children, here? Yeah, very good. Northern latitude. So that means India is entirely located in the northern part of the world. We have seen that India is located towards the north of equator. That means the latitudes which are located towards the north of equator can be indicated with the letter N. Similarly, you see that India is also located in between 68 degrees 7 minutes east and 97 degrees 25 minutes east. That is what here they used here the letter E. That means what we can understand, that India is also located in between 67 degrees 7 minutes eastern longitude and 97 degrees 25 minutes eastern longitude. That means India, as far as the longitudes are concerned, is located in the eastern world. That we have seen that. That means what we can simply say, that India is located in the northeastern part of the world. That's why that when you have been asked to locate our country, that we have to keep in mind of these latitudes and longitudes. Okay, did you understand? Okay, I know that you are all very smart students, you can understand. Okay, now you go through this one, children. Here there is a map given here. You see that this is what our India map. Okay, just now we have discussed now that India is located in between 8 degrees 4 minutes. That means here what do you mean by 8 minutes 4 minutes? That though it is located in the southern part of our country, what we have to indicate here the letter with N. You may be having some confusion. Why? Because this is southern part of India, no? So that you may feel that it is what 8 degrees 4 minutes south latitude, but it's not correct. Why? Because India is entirely located in the northern part of the equator. That's why we have to indicate it with 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitude. Okay, similarly you see that in the north, what is that? It is located in between 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitude and 37 degrees 6 minutes north latitude. Okay, so now we see that here in between which longitudes is India located. You see that left side you have 68 degrees 7 minutes and 97 degrees 24 minutes. So what is 68 degrees 7 minutes? That you may here also you may have some confusion, that 68 degrees 7 minutes because it is a western part of India, no? So that you may say that it may be western hemisphere, that is what you can use western longitude, but it is not, it is also not correct. What is it you have to use here? East. That means E. So 68 degrees 7 minutes eastern longitude and 97 degrees 25 minutes eastern longitude. Why? Because of what reason? India is located in the eastern part of the world. So the longitudes which are all towards the east of 0 degrees longitude, we should have to indicate with the letter E. Okay, children. Okay, now we see that the distance between eastern part and western part of the world, sorry, eastern part and western part of our country. You see that what is the distance in between eastern part and western part of our country? Yeah, it is about 2933 kilometers. That means the distance between far east part and far west part, it is about 2933 kilometers. Okay, similarly if you observe this one, in between north and south, what is the distance you observe here? In between north and south, it's about, see children, 3214 kilometers. 3214 kilometers. That means what, in between which areas you may find the length is more? Yeah, very good, between north and south parts of India. Okay, now if you observe this map carefully, you can see here children a vertical line which is also what called longitude with the dotted lines here, which is passing through India. So what do you think this is? Yeah, very good. So this is what actually called IST. What do you mean by IST? Indian Standard Time. So what is it actually, why it is called Indian Standard Time or Indian Standard Meridian? We all know that longitudes are the lines which are basing on which we can calculate the time. So we all know that how much time does the earth take for one rotation around from one longitude to other longitude? It takes 4 minutes, isn't it? Why? Because earth is a circle. So we all know that for one rotation it takes 24 hours. But actually recently some of the scientists have observed that we know that the speed of the earth has increased, that it may cause reduction or decrease in the speed of the earth. But as far as our uh, textbooks are concerned, we have to go through this one. What is it? 4 minutes it takes for one rotation from one longitude to other longitude. So we all know that here you see, if you observe in between uh, eastern parts and western parts of our country, what is the difference we have? How many longitudes we can say that are passing? 68 to 97. That means if you subtract 97 minus 68, you may find nearly about 30 longitudes. So there are 30 longitudes are passing through our country. So according to our calculation, earth takes 4 minutes for rotation of from one longitude to other longitude. So simply what we can do here, calculation 30 multiplication with 4, 30 into 4. So how much it takes? 120 minutes, isn't it? 120 minutes. That means 120 minutes is equal to 2 hours. So that means what is the difference between the time from eastern part and western part? It is about 2 hours. So we all know that you come across in the previous class. So when you follow different times for different places of a country, it may be a lot of confusion for different aspects. For example, if you know that for TV telecast programs, like you know that timetable following schedule for airways like railways and some other. So for that reason, in order to avoid the confusion here, we have taken one longitude as Indian standard meridian, which is passing through our country. This is what actually 82 and of eastern longitude. What is it actually? 82 and of eastern longitude, which is what actually passing through. If you observe this, this is homework for you children. You have to do this one at, in our homes. What is it actually? You have to find out that through which states that this longitude is passing. So you have to keep a political map of India, that with different states, and observe this map and find out what are the states through which it is passing. Okay, 82 and of eastern longitude, or 82 degrees 30 minutes eastern longitude. Then you can see another line which is passing through the center of our country. You see that this dotted lines. So what is it actually? We all know that, yeah, what is it actually? This line is called Tropic of Cancer, or 23 and of 23 degrees 30 minutes northern latitude, isn't it? So why? Because India is located in the northern part of the world. We know that the portion of the world, the part of the world which is located in the in between tropic of cancer and tropic of Capricorn. So what is it actually is called? You see that this is equator, and this one tropic of Cancer, and this one tropic of Capricorn. So you see that this portion, and here